Well, this is not the most flattering shot or angle, but this is the only way I can do the screen and screen. And so as I just noticed that because I'm doing this video in segments but oh well, anything for you guys, okay? So I might not look my best, but I'm performing at my best, I hope, intellectually and pedagogically. I like to do the picture in picture because I know that for a lot of you, you miss face-to-face classes, you miss the feeling of a real classroom. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to do the picture in picture. As you can see, I can look straight at the camera and talk to you guys while also pointing to things on the screen. It's almost like being in a real classroom. And I actually miss the real classroom. If you guys need an intro class, I'm scheduled to teach 3 face-to-face classes on Mondays and Wednesdays at Cedar Valley. I would love to see you there. You will be taking 1301. The context of the class is COVID-19. And you'll have a really good base in virtue of taking this class. The first unit's almost the same, almost exactly the same, except that we focus on ethics for only 2 or 3 weeks, but then we focus on the other branches, epistemology and metaphysics. Okay, so that said, I'm done with my commercial. Let's go ahead and click on this link. Oh yeah, so remember, so here's an operational aspect. So I'm just gonna start thinking like a student, but out loud. Okay, so it's time to submit my markup. I've read through all this stuff. I remember that Dr. C said that we have to go to our week 2 submission, and which prompt did she tell us to respond to? Oh yeah, she said the second prompt. So I think she said that last time, if I remember correctly, she's told us to go to Gradebook and then to find our response. So week 2 is, where is week 2? Week 2, okay, here it is. That's where my responses are. And she said to focus on item 2, or my second paragraph, my response to that assisting police officer checking George Floyd's pulse. So there we go, I'm gonna copy it. Okay, so now I need to get back into the weekly bundle folder. Okay, so now go into here. And she said we have to use write submission. We do not upload this as a document. Okay. All right. Okay, so yeah, because all my tools are showing, just checked right here. And I'm going to paste this in here. Okay, so now I have that done. So cool. I'm now ready to work on this. Okay, so I think I'm going to go and look at my notes and remind myself of what I do first. And then I am going to go and look at some examples to make sure I remember how to number and statement, number and bracket. And I'm going to look at how I did. Oh, by the way, if you guys haven't done so, make sure you look at all my comments and read everything that I said about your last assignment of this kind so that you don't make the same kind of mistakes. Okay, I'm back in the student role model mode. Okay, so I just realized I have not reviewed my notes. So I think I'm going to go and read and review my notes. I'm going to go remember the definition for argument, complex argument, simple argument. I'm going to look at all my notes on markup. I'm going to look at all 10 examples that she coached me through for simple arguments. I'm going to look at all the examples that she's coached me through for marking up complex arguments, and then I'll come back to this. Okay, that means time. Okay, just did it. I just warped into the future. All right. Okay, so now I sure am glad I reviewed my notes because I realized that there were things that I had kind of forgotten about. So now that I have all this fresh in my mind, I know that an argument consists of at least 2 kinds of statements, a premise and a conclusion. The premise is offered in support of the conclusion. The premises give me reasons to believe that a claim in a statement is true or false, likely or unlikely, probable or improbable. So I know in constructing this assignment, this paragraph, that I was supposed to make a claim and then offer reasons in support of it. And so I know that she told us in week 2 that we were supposed to be giving all of our conclusions first in every single argument. And I distinctly remember Dr. C saying, and in fact, I think I wrote it down in my warnings and tips. Let me go look at my notes where I wrote down all my extra notes of warnings and tips. Yes, I'm so glad I wrote that down. She said that if we did this argument correctly during week 2, that the first statement will be a conclusion. And if our argument happens to be a complex argument, The first one is 99% guaranteed to be a final conclusion. So I'm just going to know right off the bat that's probably a conclusion because I followed the directions. All right. So, but you know what? I don't want to label yet. So let me just first number and bracket. Okay. So I've got a statement here. This is, of course, my second time reading this because at first I just read the passage to get a feel for it, to kind of get a sense of how many statements, to get a sense of where that's coming from. But now I'm ready to go into the trees and look at specifics. Okay, so there's one statement. On the one hand, I am tempted to say he should have. So it seems like the core of the statement that's being made is right here. He should have. Because all lives matter after all. Oh, I think I see two premise indicators there, and I've never seen this before. Premise indicator before the statement and after the statement. And I know that this premise indicator has to go with this because the sentence ends right here. Okay, more on that later. That said, I can also see the other, oh, crap. I left out a word in my original response, Dr. Carrillo said. Since Dr. Carrillo said we can fix minor syntax things or things having to do with writing mechanics or conventions, I'm going to fix that because I obviously forgot the word side. That's just a typo. All right. So for examples, oh, wait. What? That's a statement. I need to bracket and number that. Okay, so statement 3. And now I'm realizing what the heck did I do over here? I'm tempted to say he should have, oh my God, I forgot my opening bracket. All right. Guys, Dr. C here. Remember, I'm role modeling a student showing full intellectual virtue, intellectual perseverance, going to their notes, their examples, making mistakes, and being okay and learning from them. I'm a student again. Okay. All right. So I've got that. I can also see the other side. Okay. Statement ends there. For example, someone might reason that, I think that the core of the statement that is being made is right here. Police officers are trained to protect and preserve life. See the word so? I'm thinking that's going to be a conclusion. It looks like this is the end of the statement. So what I have is where I have 3 in brackets looks like a complete thought right there. Okay, no, but I'm not there anymore. Now I've got a new statement. Someone might reason that. Okay, so 4. So yeah, that's a complete thought right there. Then I've got a new one, a conditional. You know what? Did she say that the if part was a premise indicator and the then part's a conclusion? Because that's the way it seems like. Let me go back and look at my notes because I remember her saying that students that they often make some terrible mistakes with these statements that have if then. So let me go look at my notes. Time lapse. Oh, okay, so yes. She said that we should never chop these if-then statements in half, that they are conditional statements, hypothetical reasoning. Okay, so that's a statement, so that would be statement 5. Okay, so then we've got, thus can I see, okay, so I see seems to be the core statement here, so that's going to be statement 5, 6, okay. Or someone might disagree with I am tempted to conclude. What the hell was I thinking when I wrote this? What was I trying to say? That syntax is really clunky by the time I get to with. Seems like there's a missing word there. What was I trying to say? Oh, I think what. Okay, so the missing word that I had there was what? So now I'm good. What I'm trying to conclude, even the arguments need a bit of fleshing out. Oh crap, you know what? I know I didn't mean to say those 2 words. I meant to say even, I think I meant to say even though. So, even though the arguments need a bit of fleshing out, you know what? I think that's a discount indicator. Let me go look at my notes. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's a discount indicator. That's in my list of discount indicators. So the discount is actually though. I really shouldn't have there. I'm going to cross it out to let her know that, draw a line through it to let her know that I realized that was a mistake there. The arguments need a bit of fleshing out. I know that that whole thing definitely couldn't be a statement. It'd be a sentence fragment. So using my intellectual empathy. Oh, okay, so it seems like, did I want to say that part of the reasoning for my conclusion is the fact that I am using intellectual empathy? I think maybe I am. So, but that is 6. I'm going to say that this is statement 7. I am able to see how rational both arguments are. Guys, pretend you didn't see that word "and." I actually tried to. I wanted this to be a mistake, and so in the version that you copy, get rid of and pretend it was never there, because I want to show you a mistake that you can fix. All right, so using my intellectual empathy, I'm able to see how rational both arguments are, consequently reason. What? Oh crap, I think, isn't that an end of a statement right there? I think I have a run-on sentence. I think I've run-on sentences, yes. Using my intellectual empathy, I'm able to see how rational arguments are. I should have either used a colon or a semicolon or done a period and capitalized C, because there's two independent thoughts, but I just run one into the other. So this is the end of one statement. And then another statement is right here, statement 8. Wait a minute, reason, doesn't reason typically tell me that a premise is coming? If I say that, then I should be able to cross out reason. Alone does not allow me to decide which side of the debate to endorse. Well, that would create a sentence fragment if I take out reason. So it seems like in my thinking, reason is the subject of the sentence. That is, my rational capacity doesn't allow me to decide. So reason's not functioning as an indicator, and it should be in the statement brackets without being deleted. Okay, cool. All right, so let me just check this. I just caught this mistake that I didn't see earlier. Obviously, I didn't mean to type copy. I meant to type cop, so I'm gonna let her know that I see that mistake there. Okay, let me check some more. Okay, so I just checked my notes on bracketing and numbering. I just compared my results to the 13 plus examples we have of simple and complex arguments. I think my bracketing and numbering is good. I think I've made the minor corrections allowed. Yep. What's next? Let me check in my notes what else I'm supposed to do to this.